Andrew, if you're able to start us off.
Sure. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Puri Brajaka Ashtotara Sata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mayi Ki Jai Jamuna Mayi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande, Hari Haribo.
Welcome everyone to Srimad Bhagavatam with His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami. It is Tuesday, May 20th, and today we're starting with Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 15, Text 8. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Ras Prabhu, you will forgive me, but I
Yes.
noticed in the chat notes from our last
Oh,
that
something.
it looks like we got up to we read 8, 9, and 10, and it looked like we're starting on 11 today.
Oh, let's see. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
11. Tasyabhiseka arobdo brahmaner brahma varibihi abhisekam ikani asmai ajaruhu sarvato jana. Translation. The learned brahmanas who were very attached to the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies then arranged for the king's coronation. People from all directions collected all the different paraphernalia for the ceremony. Thus, everything was complete.
Carry on.
Okay, text 12. Sarit Sumudra Hirayo Nagagava Gaga Mrigaha Do Sitihi Sarva Bhutani Samadra Upayanam. Translation. All the rivers, seas, hills, mountains, serpents, cows, birds, animals, heavenly planets, the earthly planet, and all other living entities collected various presentations according to their ability to offer the king. Any comments, Maharaj?
Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutade Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Putrayane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatade Shatana. Impressive. All the living entities, moving and non-moving, they're all honoring the king. Hare Krishna.
Something in the chat from Praveen Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, go ahead.
Brahmanas attached to the ritualistic ceremonies. Is this a qualification or a disqualification?
Well, of course, that's how, depends how you look at it. Brahmanai Brahmavadi be. Seems neutral in this context. One could, of course, spin it either way, that they were just Brahmins. What is that? Vedavada Vrata, or that they were learned Brahmins and they knew the Vedic rituals and mantras. It appears there doesn't seem to be anything stated. There's nothing stated here one way or the other. Attached, of course, usually for us carries a negative connotation, but there's nothing really in the context to indicate that. And rather to the contrary, because the rituals are being performed for the sake of Prithu Maharaj, so the learned Brahmins are making a contribution. They're performing their prescribed duties, and in that context, honoring Prithu Maharaj. So it seems to be positive rather than negative.
Maharaj, I was just thinking that someone might stumble on this verse and be puzzled as to how it would be that a hill or a mountain could collect various presentations and offer it to a king.
Antaya Madhura Bala Haridas Savaryo Yad Rama Krishna Charanas Parasha Pramoda Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayos Tuyoryat Ani Asura Vasakandara Kandamai. Govardhan is offering one gopi is saying to another, how wonderful is Govardhan Hill. He's offering all kinds of nice things for the pleasure of Krishna and Balaram and their cows and calves. They're offering sweet water and nice grass, roots, and so many things just to please Krishna and Balaram, the cows. So the mountains can also offer, the seas can also offer. The moving and non-moving entities can all offer something.
I think the question only arises in my mind because, contemporary society is so steeped in the idea that everything except me is unconscious.
Yeah, and also the forces of nature don't really want to offer anything anymore. Now it's like we extract it. We use it, we pollute it, we extract it, we dispose of it, we throw our junk in it. We have no respect even for no respect for the non-moving entities, no respect for the moving living entities. Some, here and there, we get people who give their lives for the dolphins or whatever, but largely we just trample over everything. We take, we don't accept. Krishna, therefore they're described in Bhagavad Gita. Yo bhunte stene evasa. They just want to take everything and not offer gratitude to the controlling devatas, to the personality of Godhead. Just take. So they're described as stena. Stena means thieves. We don't have to steal everything. Nature is ready to give. That's Krishna's arrangement. Nature provides all necessities for all living beings. Someplace in Ecclesiastes it said, God has made everything straight, but they've made everything crooked. That's to the point.
It's so sad when you consider how depersonalized human beings have made their surroundings. It's
And
their
themselves.
Yeah. They've narrowed their experience of this earth to something very depressingly narrow.
Yeah. And ugly. You look at what nature, like look at New York City at the time of Columbus and look at it now. Which place would you rather live in? You have to be a multimillionaire to live in any place slightly resembling what New York City used to be. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu writes, a mountain offered Hanuman to rest for a while before proceeding in his mission.
Yes.
Madhupati Prabhu, are you able to read text 14?
Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Gurudas Jayadvaita Swami iti namine. Tasmai Jahar Dhanadavo Haimam Veera
Sorry,
Varanam.
I skipped over 13, actually.
Okay.
That's my mistake.
So Abhisikto Maharaja Suvasa Sadha Alankrita Patanya archisha alankritaya vireje agni eva aparaha. Thus the great King Prithu, exquisitely dressed with garments and ornaments, was coronated and placed on the throne. The king and his wife Archi, who was also exquisitely ornamented, appeared exactly like fire. No purport. Let's see. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has anything in this? Nope. Would you like to add anything on this?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Maharaji, go ahead, please.
Tasmai jahara dhanado haimam veera varasanam varuna salila shravam atah patram sashi prabham. The great sage continued, My dear Vidura, Kuvera presented the great king Prithu with a golden throne. The demigod Varuna presented him with an umbrella that constantly sprayed fine particles of water and was as brilliant as the moon. So, as king's coronation, different demigods and personalities present are presenting him with different presents according to their stature. And anything?
Yeah, Varun is the treasure, Kuver is the treasurer of the demigods, so he can offer a golden throne.
Mm-hmm.
Varuna is in charge of the waters, so he can offer an umbrella that sprays fine particles of water. In this way, as you said, according to their status or their capability. Hare Krishna.
Vayu cha vala vijane dharma kirti mahim srijam Indra kiritam utkrishtam dandam samyamanam yamaha. The demigod of air, Vayu, presented King Prithu with two whisk chamaras of hair. The king of religion, Dharma, presented him with a flower garland which would expand his fame. The king of heaven, Indra, presented him with a valuable helmet. And the superintendent of death, Yamraj, presented him with a scepter with which to rule the world. Yeah, again, here also we see according to their capacity and according to their expertise, like the demigod of air, Vayu is presenting King Prithu with two whisk chamaras of hair, which when we offer uh, nice air, no, we present it when we offer it to the Supreme Lord. He feels cooling effect. The king of religion, Dharma, presented with a flower garland to expand his fame. And king of heaven, Indra, with a valuable helmet. And the superintendent of death with a scepter with which to rule the world. Anything to add?
Yeah, Dharma Kirti Mayim Srijam. A man is famous for dharma. If someone's has a good reputation for dharma, then that reputation spreads all over the world. Then Danda Samyatam Yama, the Yamaraj gave him a danda. In the Bhagavad Gita, danda damayatam asmi, among means of curbing lawlessness, I'm danda, the stick or punishment. And also said yama samyamatamaham. Krishna says among subduers, I'm Yamaraj. Samyamatama, those who curb down lawlessness. Danda is translated here, scepter. Literally, it's a stick. The king has authority, which finally takes the form of, if necessary, of punishment or rejection of power. Ideally, it's not necessary. If the citizens are obedient, then there's affection for all the citizens. But if they're disobedient, then the king is prepared to use power. So both things. Krishna also. Prarthanaya sadhunam dinashaya chutushkritam. Take your choice. Hare Krishna.
Andrew Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, is it clear to you here, since a distinction is made between Dharma and Yama, who Dharma refers to in this verse?
No, at some place, there's a king, Dharma, mentioned earlier in Bhagavatam, I think, or maybe it's later. Dharma is mentioned as an explicit personality elsewhere in Bhagavatam. Maybe it's noted I think we noted it in relation to the discussion of genealogy earlier in fourth canto, didn't we? There was Dharma noted as a separate person. So that could be referenced.
Yudhishthira Maharaj is considered Dharmaraj.
Yeah. There's no comment. And Yudhishthira comes later anyway, so we wouldn't expect Yudhishthira to be referred to in this context. Sometimes we do hear Yamaraj and Dharma identified completely, and sometimes we get separate references. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I have a question.
Mm.
Why do sannyasis sometimes have the danda, like the same kind of stick that's described here?
No, it's not the same as this danda. This danda is carried by the Kshatriyas, and it's for punishment, or as a sign of punishment. A scepter. In England, the king bears a scepter. It's a ceremonial rod, but it signifies power. The sannyasis carry, of course, there are two kinds of Dandi sannyasis, Mayavadis and the Vaishnavas. Mayavadis are called Ekadandis because they carry one danda with the symbolizing their intention or their conviction that they're absolutely one with the absolute truth, that they're non-different from Godhead, Aham Brahm Asmi, Tattvamasi, and all of that. So they signify oneness by carrying the danda. And the Tridandi Swamis, Tridandi sannyasis, carry three rods, Tridandi, symbolizing dedication to the service of Krishna with body, mind, and words. So generally, the danda for sannyasis is a symbol, a sign of sannyas, part of the sannyas uniform. Our sannyasis carry it less often these days, in large part due to the post 9/11 restrictions on air travel and so on. It becomes harder and harder to carry a danda unless you've got one stored in the different locations you visit. But traditionally, these are symbols of sannyas, and sannyasis are not in the business of punishing citizens. They're in the business of giving transcendental knowledge.
Okay, for our next verse, Kendra Prabhu, are you available?
Sure. So we're a little behind in the chat, so we're on 16 now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brahma Brahmamayam Dharma Bharati Haram Uttamam Harihi Sudarshanam Chakram Tatpat Yavyahatang Shriyam. Lord Brahma presented King Prithu with a protective garment made of spiritual knowledge. Bharati, Saraswati, the wife of Brahma, gave him a transcendental necklace. Lord Vishnu presented him with a Sudarshana disc, and Lord Vishnu's wife, the goddess of fortune, gave him imperishable opulences. All the demigods presented various gifts to King Prithu. Hari, an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead known as Upendra in the heavenly planet, presented the king with a Sudarshana disc. It should be understood that this Sudarshana disc is not exactly the same type of Sudarshana disc used by the Personality of Godhead Krishna or Vishnu. Since Maharaj Prithu was a partial representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's power, the Sudarshana disc given to him represented the partial power of the original Sudarshana disc. Om Jnanatimidam Tasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is a short commentary on this verse. It says Brahmamayam, referring to the garment that Brahma gave King Prithu, means made of the Vedas. The verse is rendered slightly differently here. Brahma offered armor made of the Vedas. So armor made of the Vedas. And Saraswati offered an excellent necklace. Prabhupada says here, the way it appears in the BBT version, it's a transcendental necklace. What is the word for that now? Haram Uttamam. So it's either excellent or transcendental, or both. And then the Lord offered his chakra, and Lakshmi offered imperishable wealth. So we might wonder what that protective garment was like, made of spiritual knowledge. But it's nice to consider that there could be such a thing, a garment made of spiritual knowledge, and one could extend that and say that one is protected in this world to the degree that he has some transcendental knowledge. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, any comments from your side?
Yes, there's nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. So one is protected, certainly, by knowledge. This is also Ecclesiastes, that knowledge offers more protection than 10 strong men in the city or something like that. Yeah, strong men will protect the city, but and then there's a history how by intelligence a man saved a city from a siege. But then the fools neglected the man. But that, anyway, that's how it goes with knowledge. Knowledge is not always appreciated, but it offers more protection than an army. The armor here is Varma, in common Indian surname, Varma Talwar. armor, sword, and so on. Kshatriya names. And I'm going to have to drop off any moment now because I have a conflicting program this evening. So I'm only half. You get half of me today. I apologize. Western preaching. So for Western preaching, we sometimes
Jai.
have to adjust.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah, thank you. And I guess I'll let them come get me or one way. Anyway, I'll hang on a moment or somewhere. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I have a question on this verse. In the purport, we have information about Upendra in the heavenly planet, but confused about where that's coming from. Like, how do we understand that from the verse? And also, I'm wondering more on Krishna's, I guess, incarnation as Upendra. What's happening there?
These things typically come from the commentaries. The one or another commentator would say, well, who's Hari? And then they would explain it and perhaps give evidence. But just silently or without attribution. Well, here's the Hare Krishna.
$17. Venkatesh Prabhu, are you available?
Sorry, not ready yet.
Okay. Bridgeburn Madhavi, Mashi, are you available?
Yes, Prabhu. दशचन्द्रम् असंरुद्रः शतचन्द्रं तथाम्बिकाम् सोमामृतमयान् अश्वान् स्पष्टायुपाश्रयं रतम्. Lord Shiva presented him with a sword within a sheath marked with 10 moons, and his wife, the goddess Durga, presented him with a shield marked with 100 moons. The moon demigod presented him with horses made of nectar, and the demigod Vishnukarma presented him with a very beautiful chariot. Can I read next verse?
Yes.
Text 18. Agniराजगवं शापं सूर्यो रश्मिमयान् इषुं भूपादुके योगमयो देवो पुष्पावलिम् अन्वहम्. The demigods of fire, Agni, presented him with a bow made of the horns of goats and cows. The sun god presented him with arrows as brilliant as sunshine. The predominating deity of Bhurlok presented him with slippers full of mystic power. The demigods from outer space brought him presentations of flowers again and again. Purport. This verse describes that the king's slippers were invested with mystic powers, Paduke Yog Mayo. Thus, as soon as the king placed his feet in the slippers, they would immediately carry him wherever he desired. Mystic yogis can transfer themselves from one place to another whenever they desire. A similar power was invested in the slippers of King Prithu.
Well, I have a question on this first. Why are the demigods making all these offerings?
It's not that, but I think King Prithu is being coronated. Is considered the partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we see even Lord Vishnu presenting him with Sudarshan Chakra, partial Sudarshan Chakra. So different demigods and the Supreme Lord himself is presenting. Oh, no, see. Guru Maharaj, would you like to add something?
Pardon me, Madhupati Prabhu?
No, I'm gonna have to disappear.
Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Jack.
Nikita Prabhu, would you like to add something? I think the question was why they are presenting to Prithu Maharaj.
Yeah, like, yeah, so what's compelling them, or is this their duty? Is it some love that they have for Krishna and Krishna's part of their incarnations like that?
Just to add to what Madhupati Prabhu has already said, you read about coronations, or many different kind of ceremonies are mentioned. Great sacrifices happen in the pages of the Bhagavatam. They're described, and it's incumbent upon the great personalities that take part in the sacrifices to, just like you show up at somebody's wedding and you're supposed to bring something, some kind of gift. So that's on a very small scale. This is on a very grand scale, partial representation of the Supreme Lord being coronated for ruling over the earth. So that's major. You'd expect people to come with major gifts, and that's exactly what we see. The ruling personalities of the universe all show up because they're involved in this administration of the universe, of who King Prithu is now taking charge of portion of. So, and considering his stature as Shakti Avesha Avatar, you would expect everyone to bring the best gifts they could possibly bring, as you say, Ross Prabhu, out of love for the Lord in his manifestation in this incarnation, and also as a matter of etiquette and duty and culture. This is just how things are done. Demigods, I mean, we don't see the demigods visiting the earth anymore because there's not much sacrifice going on. But when things are done nicely and properly, they all participate, and you just see the high level of gifts being presented here. Everything is exquisite, unique, heavenly, transcendental. Priti Purnamadavi Devi brings up, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Priti Purnamadavi Matru. It's something similar when Lord Vamanadev had also appeared. Different demigods made an offering to the Lord.
And also when there was a function at Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's place.
I think maybe that's unintentional. I'm going to mute Madhupati Prabhu for just a moment. Go ahead, Mataji.
Yes, I was saying when there was a function at Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's place by Shachi Devi and Jagannath Mishra in the festival. So different demigods made an offering. So, but Lord had not appeared as Supreme Lord, but as a devotee. So we hear Advaita Acharya's wife, and she brought a lot of gifts, and different demigods who had appeared, they had also come in the function.
Is that satisfying, Ras Prabhu?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, now we're on text 19. Wonder who else may want to read. I can circle back to me, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Natyam Sugitam Vaditram Antardanam Cha Ketaraha Sayas Chasiham Satyaham Samudra Sankyam Atmajan. Translation: The demigods who always travel in outer space gave King Prithu the arts to perform dramas, sing songs, play musical instruments, and disappear at his will. Great sages also offered him infallible blessings. The ocean offered him a conch shell produced from the ocean. Yeah, I have a question for you all. Why? So King Prithu is an incarnation of Krishna, or partial incarnation. So then why are demigods giving things to him as if he needs these things? Like he doesn't have enough power. He needs the power from them.
Madhupati Prabhu?
I was thinking on this, that a king is a representative of the Supreme Lord, apart from him being a Saktivas avatar. But he's a representative of the Supreme Lord. A king in general is a representative of the Supreme Lord, because he governs the entire earth in this particular situation. So different demigods are empowered personalities of the Supreme Lord, where the Lord gives them different power for different to execute different duties. So they in turn, since the king is a representative of the Supreme Lord, they give him different presents so that his governance is good and he can execute his duties as a king rightfully to bring people close to Supreme Lord. That's what I think of. That's why all these different demigods are presenting him, so that, like here, he's being presented for so that nice cultural programs can happen, right? Dramas, so he can be expert in dramas. A king is supposed to be an expert in all the sciences. That's what I can think of.
I was thinking, Prabhu, as you were speaking about how, yes, as Ross Prabhu mentioned, the Lord is full in all opulences. He has all these things eternally. It's not like he needs any of these things. He's the Lord of all opulence. But the way he operates is, especially in the context of his pastimes in the material world, that he seems to like it when there's some exchange between him and his devotees that result in him receiving gifts of things that in the spiritual world he just always has. You know, like there's in Krishna's pastimes, I'm trying to think where this would be found in the Bhagavatam, but we hear that Agni, the demigod of fire, is the person who presents Krishna with the Sudarshana chakra. Now, Krishna always has the Sudarshana chakra, but for the sake of pastimes and loving exchanges with his devotees, he accepts the chakra, thank you very much, from the demigod of fire in the context of his pastimes in the material world. So it's just nice to see how Krishna deals with, has loving exchanges with everybody, and receives all these things and is grateful, and the personalities themselves are glorified in the giving of these things. So those are my thoughts anyway.
Nice.
Thank you.
In that same context, I was thinking about Agni Dev giving a chariot to Lord Ramachandra to fight against Ravan for his final battle. Yeah.
The term raso vai saha comes to mind, that the Lord is he's the essence of his dealings with all living entities is rasa. He loves relationships. He loves exchanges. He's not at all static or boring or just, yes, I've got everything, and ho hum, no exchange. It's just, I just happen to have everything. No, there's always some exchange going on. The same way the Lord is not starving. He doesn't need our oatmeal in the morning, but when they're offered with love, he accepts the love. We're at a quarter to the hour, and I brought up earlier today, I was speaking with Ross Prabhu. I'm going to be going to India next week, so I will be offline. And for the last 5 years, this class has been hosted by ISKCON of New Jersey. And now we are going to be switching over to a different Zoom account. So over the next few days, we'll be gathering contact information and making sure everybody has the new link so that there are no gaps. The password will be the same, but there will be a new Zoom account. So we'll be getting that information to everybody. And it was also brought up that it would be helpful to have our own WhatsApp group just for anyone who's interested in this Sangha, so we can keep in touch about things like this, important news that affects our participation in the class. So I don't personally have everyone's contact information, but over the next couple of days, I'll if I can gather things like that, then I will try to start a WhatsApp group. Unless somebody out there is very good and experienced at it, they can do it, and they can get contact info from everyone in the class, and thus we can stay informed. And when the new link gets sent around, everybody can get it. Hare Krishna. So I will put my email address into the chat so that anyone who likes today can send me their contact info so that I can get the new Zoom link out to everybody here. And that's, of course, shareable. If you know other people in the class who would like to be in the class that should have that information, please share it with them. I'm typing my email address in there now. So you can send that to me, or you can send it to both of those addresses. Come to my email inbox. So if you can today, go ahead and send me an email with your contact information, and I'll get back to you as soon as I've got the new Zoom link, and that can be shared. Yeah, so that's that. Any questions on that? It's we've been doing this on the same Zoom link for the last 5 years, so it's a momentous change, but it's really only a different URL that we'll be using. So Hare Krishna. Back to you, Ross Prabhu.
Okay, are we resuming Bhagavatam discussion, or did you have anything in mind, Kendra Prabhu?
Oh, I wasn't sure how long that whole housekeeping note would take.
Oh.
Venkatesh Prabhu says maybe we can celebrate some 5th anniversary. Yeah. I'll let you determine what the nature of that celebration can be. We can probably read
One more.
couple more verses here. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, Madhupati Prabhu, circling back to you for now we're on text 20.
Text 20, okay. Hindava parvataha nadyo rata vitti mahatmana suto atha magad vandi tam stotum upatastire. The seas, mountains, and rivers gave him room to drive his chariot without impediments, and a Sutta, a Magadha, and a Vandi offered prayers and praises. They all presented themselves before him to perform their respective duties. So we see here again, even the seas, mountains, and rivers gave him room to drive his chariot so that he can drive his chariot throughout the universe without any impediment. And a sutta is normally somebody who assists the king in driving a chariot. In Magadha and Vandi offered prayers and praises. So they were all ready to assist the Supreme Lord, or they were all ready to assist King Pitu. Yeah. Anything else?
Prabhu, as you were speaking, I was looking at this part of the verse where it says that the seas, mountains, and rivers gave him room to drive his chariot without impediments. It was reminding me how Maharaj was talking about how in contemporary so-called human society, we're just exploiting and taking and taking and taking. And therefore the planet is withholding. And here it almost seems to suggest that the mountains and seas are capable of moving around if need be to make way for somebody's chariot. In today's world, if you want to build a road, you just get some dynamite and blast off a chunk of the mountain so you can put tar down and drive your car over it. But when things are nicely managed, when respect is shown to the earth is capable of moving aside so that somebody's chariot can drive smoothly.
Yeah. Few things comes in mind. For Lord Ramachandra, again, we see the ocean making way and allowing the Lord to build a setu, bridge across the ocean. Mother Yamuna giving way to Vasudeva when he's bringing Krishna from Mathura to Vrindavan. And in contemporary, even other faith, in the 10 Commandments, we see Moses, right? The ocean giving way. It's there.
Okay. Shall we pause here for kirtan? Or
Sure.
this is the right time? I'm still new to this.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Okay. Krishna Konte Prabhu, are you available to lead kirtan?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Gora Haribo, 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 Gora Haribo, Nita Gora Haribo, 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 Gora Haribo, Nita Gora Pinande, Hari Haribo, Mama Vishnu Vadaya, Krishna Vistaya, Bhutale, Srimati, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Yati Namine Nam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Yati Namine Nam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Guru Das Maharaj Jayadvaita Swami Yati Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paskacha Deshtane Namo Brahmaya Devaya Go Brahmanandaya Chajagadaya Krishna Govindaya Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jai Sri Guru Angaranga Krishna.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami ki jai. Thank you, everyone.
Jai. Thank you, Ross Prabhu. And yeah, so we'll be announcing more about the new Zoom link over the next couple of days. And anyone who would like to can send me their contact information and get it to you even quicker. Thanks so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the kirtan, Krishna Conte.